I know you from Atlantis. And sometimes people meet each other, not only with one look in the eyes, they know from where they come. They know from where they know the other person. And of course, some people recognize the time from Atlantis and recognize people around them that live with them on Atlantis. And this is a speech for people what is a little bit on higher level and not the atheists on TikTok. But these spiritual people know each other from many different times. Also friends, you need to know in reincarnation, we recognize the people from the past and we know from where they are. So when people say to you, I know from the time from Atlantis, so people recognize each other from that time. The most people what I meet, and many people can talk about in detail what is happening that day. And me also, I've lived on Atlantis, but I've survived Atlantis. And why I've survived Atlantis? For the simple reason, because we was already escaped Atlantis before the big collapse. Many people before the collapse have visions, dreams, and so on, like a feeling from a prediction, or for like a feeling from there going to happening something very, very badly. And we know it already many, many years before the collapse that the island will collapse one day. It was a natural phenomenon, or it's going to happen in the future, and we know this. And some people have taken already their decision on that moment to leave the island, to leave the continent. So we have a lot of immigrations on that moment to South America, to Mexico and to Egypt. It was all the masters, they know it, that Atlantis will collapse. Because it was already predicted in different oracles, in different predictions. The oracle from Atlantis was very, very specific with a date and so on. Of course, in Atlantis, like today, we have always the poor and the contrast, like the ego from Lucifer, that was falling and falling with the continent. So yes, you have a lot of people today that have experienced the life from Atlantis. They have experienced the collapse of Atlantis. But there's also some guys that have experienced Atlantis, but there was escape Atlantis. And I'm one of these guys, like many other people, that have escaped Atlantis. So for me, the collapse of Atlantis was not a catastrophe that will stay in my DNA. For other people, this catastrophe stay in their DNA. But for the guys that have escaped Atlantis, it was never in their DNA. And I talk about the DNA of your soul, not the DNA of your body.